Channel 3, Burlington.
I'm Mary Hart at the Entertainment Tonight studios in Hollywood. Big Jackson wedding news.
It's a publicity stunt that took a strange turn.
We have the exclusive from LaToya.
I was probably shocked the first day.
Is the lure of fame and greed undermining the American jury system? I'm John Tesh. We'll investigate charges of jury tampering.
Plus, we have an avalanche of stars, and we're ready to burn down the house. This is Entertainment Tonight for Tuesday, August 2nd, 1994.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show.
Well, the big news wedding of Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley not only took the world by surprise, it shocked the socks off his own sister. E.T. went right to LaToya Jackson to get her exclusive reaction to charges that she was the culprit who leaked the startling news. She's an actress, a singer, a Playboy model. But LaToya Jackson says she is not a snitch. 1 week ago, tabloids reported she could confirm her famous brother's signature on a marriage license to Lisa Marie Presley.
I've never said that. I've heard that before. Someone else said I said that. No, I've never said that. It just goes to show you in this business how people put words in your mouth.
But in this exclusive E.T. interview, LaToya had a bigger bombshell in store concerning her never-consummated marriage to personal manager Jack Gordon.
This marriage was never really meant to be, and we have always been friends, and we still are friends, and I have always waited and wanted a divorce, and yes, we are going to get a divorce.
Insiders are not surprised. LaToya married Gordon in 1989 to protect herself from what she said was an attempt by her family to kidnap her.
And there we were. 5 minutes, we were married. It didn't exactly take 5 minutes because I kept walking out because I said, this can't be.
The union seemed ill-fated when Gordon was taken into custody last year for allegedly beating his famous wife.
We knew that it wasn't going to last because it wasn't a marriage out of love. I definitely want a divorce without a doubt. And I'm going to get it.
LaToya says no date has been set for the divorce proceedings, but sources speculate the matter will be in court before the end of the year.
The surprise wedding of Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley is quite simply a musical merger made in heaven. Names in music just don't get any bigger than Presley and Jackson. Entertainment Tonight has the exclusive on a possible publicity stunt that got out of hand.
The doggone girl is mine.
It is the wedding of all weddings, a merger of famous names and fabulous fortunes. The question today, is it true love or a marriage of convenience? Jackson biographer J. Randy Taraborelli thinks it's a little bit of both.
It's a publicity stunt that took a strange turn.
Taraborelli says his sources in the Jackson camp told him it was designed as a hoax to divert attention from Michael's legal problems. Lisa Marie saw things a bit differently.
What has apparently happened, from my understanding, is that Lisa Marie Presley has fallen in love with Michael Jackson, and what they planned to do was have an annulment, but now it looks like there might not be one.
If they're really in love and they have the right reasons, then, you know, the best luck to them.
All her money and all his money? Have a good time.
Forbes magazine reporter Robert LaFranco says Jackson's camp told him there is a prenuptial agreement. The combined net worth is staggering.
You can easily make a case for $300 million. You get into a gray area, we can safely say $250 without a doubt.
At Graceland, an official statement wished the couple happiness, but pointedly announced that, quote, there will be no changes in the structure or operations of Elvis Presley Enterprises or Graceland.
The marriage is something in Lisa's personal life.
We got to move back. In New York, crowds of onlookers hoped for a glimpse of the newlyweds outside their Trump Tower residence, but they had to be satisfied with the landlord.
They're very happy. I think they're really happy.
Meanwhile, in Las Vegas, on stage at the Imperial Palace, a proud father-in-law had strong words of advice.
Now, you treat her right, Michael. I'm going to stretch your neck like a long rubber band.
The annual bash at Graceland to pay homage to Elvis is coming up in 2 weeks, and the question of the hour is whether his daughter, Lisa Marie, will show up with husband Michael, triggering an even bigger down-south paparazzi explosion.
Early on in the O.J. Simpson murder case, there was an angry uproar over witnesses selling their stories to tabloids, putting the case in jeopardy and profiting from tragedy. Now, as the trial draws near, there are deeper concerns about potential jurors being tempted by the same fates.
I would suggest Tuesday, September the 20th, to actually begin the jury selection process.
All of O.J. Simpson's court appearances so far have been before judges. But what will happen when a jury is seated to hear the high-profile case? Trial consultant Howard Verinsky sees the possibility of jurors with 3 distinct agendas.
One would want to save him, one would want to send him away, and the other wouldn't care either way, but would want to get on the jury for the 15 minutes of celebrity.
Attorneys for both sides will question potential jurors at length to try to uncover any prejudices. And it's a good bet at least some of that process will be televised live, just as court TV did before the rape trial of William Kennedy Smith.
I don't find things like this of interest. It's this sort of details, etc.
But once jurors are seated in the Simpson case, they could be tempted to cash in when the trial is over, according to attorney Barry Slotnick. He defended Bernard Goetz in his highly publicized subway murder trial in 1987.
Every TV program that was interested in a Goetz juror had somebody on. So they went from sheer anonymity to public figures for a short while.
Paying for interviews has become so widespread, it's now expected, according to Los Angeles Times city editor Joel Sapel.
We went to interview one juror after the second Rodney King trial, and the first thing the juror said was, "How much are you paying?"
But at least one tabloid editor, Stephen Kaz, told us his newspaper won't be pursuing jurors in the Simpson trial.
If he's found guilty and he's in prison, that's where we would concentrate our efforts. We wouldn't really go after the jurors.
Still, defense attorney Slotnick says the lure of money and fame may prove to be too much for jurors in the Simpson trial.
I wouldn't be surprised to find some of the jurors writing books, appearing on TV shows, selling their stories, and becoming somewhat well-known figures.
The O.J. Simpson trial is scheduled to begin September 19th, and the first important order of business will be jury selection.
Do you feel that rolling thunder? The Stones are rolling, and the presses are rolling as well. Here now, today's E.T. Gazette.
Come on now, honey, don't you want to live with me?
Grandpa Mick and his mates kicked off their Voodoo Lounge World Tour in Washington, D.C. last night.
You're strong, you're so sweet, someday, babe, got to leave.
The Stones pranced through 7 songs from their new album and a horde of rock classics. Mick Jagger's review of the concert was, quote, "not bad for a bunch of old farts," end quote.
Give me the honky-tonk blues. There's just no place for me.
With fighter Mike Tyson behind bars, HBO has decided the place for his story is on their network. Starring as Iron Mike will be 25-year-old Michael J. White of Brooklyn. The young actor knows Tyson will be watching his every move.
My wish is that when Mike Tyson sees it, he can agree. He can call it fair, and he could be pleased with my performance.
And after almost 2 years as a lone wolf, Jack Nicholson has been spotted apparently reconciling with Rebecca Broussard, the mother of his 2 young children. Broussard reportedly left when Jack's roving eyes were too much for her to take. This time, Nicholson told one reporter he was going to, quote, try very hard. The Primetime Emmy Awards will be telecast on ABC September the 11th, and the show will be hosted by 2 stars from ABC primetime shows. Co-host Patricia Richardson is a nominee for Best Actress in a Comedy Series for Home Improvement. She'll share hosting duties with Ellen DeGeneres.
Coming up next, lots of fire and ice. Robert Downey Jr. fights a 17th century towering inferno.
Michael Gross gets snowed under by David Hasselhoff.
And learning Hollywood style from the stars.
Frank said he'd really like to take a relaxing vacation this year. I've got just the place. If they could see you now out on a fun ship cruise, you're eating fancy food and doing what you choose. I'd like your friends back home to get a good look. I ask you, does Frank look relaxed or what? Take a 3-, 4-, or 7-day vacation on Carnival, the most popular cruise line in the world. Honey, I just booked another week.
Great.
Is it illegal to yell fire on a crowded set? Not if you burn the whole place down. That's what we're going to do next.
Ladies and gentlemen, the dogs and cats of America implore you. Fleas and ticks must be placed under immediate control. And it starts with Hart's, introducing the controlled pet care system, guaranteed to break the flea and tick cycle. It's as simple as A, the shampoo, B, the repellent, and C, the home spray flea and tick killer. Add your Hart's 2-in-1 collar, and your flea and tick problems are under control. It starts with Hart's.
Green-eyed lady, lovely lady.
Doug Costal As head of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, he took on steel, chemical, and auto polluters and negotiated with Moscow, Japan, and China. He built Vermont Law School's environmental program into America's best, co-founded a successful business, and chaired the Commission on the Future of Vermont. Work, experience, leadership. Doug Kostel, Democrat for U.S. Senate.
This is KAPZ News.
Could you tell us what happened? I noticed its spaceship-like design.
I was strangely attracted to it.
I said, Vern, that is not a pizza.
Introducing the Pizza Hut Bowlie. Pizza toppings, cheese, and sauce in a mysteriously tasty crust. Now one Bowlie is $4.99. Bowlie, it's out of this world. I believe it was brought here as a sign of peace. Oh. Bowlie, reportedly seen in meaty, classic, and pepperoni mushroom varieties.
No, these folks didn't just come from the Michael Jackson wedding. This is a scene from a new film called Restoration, where the townspeople are trying to escape from the 1666 Great Fire of London.
Boy, Miss America.
The movie stars Robert Downey Jr. as a royal physician in King Charles II's court who tries to race back into the dangerous fire to save his sister.
It's raised in Manhattan, and I've been in subways in rush hour, so this is pretty tame.
Creating this scene was not tame, though. Director Michael Hoffman wanted a towering inferno that even pyros like Beavis and Butthead would be impressed with.
Just a wall of flame at about 3 different levels that hopefully will convince you, that it's a city on fire. That's the goal.
What the director wants, the director gets. All courtesy of special effects coordinator Peter Hutchinson.
We're actually pumping liquid petroleum gas, which will be forced at about 180 pounds a square inch up through these burner bars and give us the flames in the background.
365, take 1. Common mark, ANC cameras.
But even Hollywood types can't just go around and burn down cities. So Caerphilly Castle in Wales stood in as 17th century London. Hundreds of locals were hired as extras, and even more came to watch the big fire scene. All the hard work and extra planning that everyone put into the scene pays off, and Robert Downey Jr. and director Hoffman are pleased with the results.
I thought it looked pretty good. Yeah.
I'm just passionate about this film. Willing to go the distance.
When not being used as a Hollywood backdrop full of stampeding villagers and bursting with flames, Caerphilly Castle is a popular tourist attraction. The special effects folks did their job well. Each and every historic castle stone survived unscathed.
Fans of Baywatch's David Hasselhoff usually picture him with the sizzling sun and surf, the beach, and of course the babes. Instead, in his latest role, it was all downhill for Hasselhoff. He is a psycho bad guy out to get Michael Gross in a tidal wave of fake snow. David Hasselhoff takes 5 from the sun-swept bikini-bearing beaches of Baywatch to dive into a truly chilling new role.
Here we are live in this set of Avalanche. As you can see, we're completely covered in snow. This is not a dandruff problem, believe me.
The weather isn't the only thing that's changed. Hasselhoff has gone from hero to heavy, playing a psychotic diamond smuggler who terrorizes Michael Gross and family after an avalanche traps them all in a mountain cabin.
It just gives me a chance to do scenes that I would never do on Baywatch. This guy would probably let the kids out there drown. I'm home! Where are my diamonds?
A better question might be, where's the real snow? The white stuff is a little scarce in Vancouver this time of year, especially inside a soundstage. So we asked Michael Gross for the scoop on this winter wonderland.
We have styrofoam, we have rock salt. We also use instant potato flakes, which are a lot of fun. So you don't want to get too wet or you have instant mashed potatoes all over the set. Go upstairs.
Michael is about to face that fake snow head on. In this scene, he's supposed to trap David in an ice tunnel by knocking loose the support beam. But that single swing sets a second, smaller avalanche in motion.
Basically, we'll do exactly what we did last time. Then we're going to dump about a ton of salt.
It's all going to go pouring out of there, right near me. Terry, you do it.
Okay, there's going to be a pop on this. There's going to be a bang. That's the trip.
Apple 88, apple pick 1. Mark.
Speed all around.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch, oh witch.
Ah, but is Hasselhoff really dead, or will this bad guy tunnel his way to more terror? David gave E.T. the inside word. He'll be back.
Now he is terrorizing the family, looking for the diamonds. He has a broken leg. It gets a little bit violent, which is quite different for me. It's great doing fights and actually losing for a change.
Avalanche will air sometime this fall on Fox. Meanwhile, Hasselhoff continues to hang out on the beach with his syndicated Baywatch series, and he'll be headlining a new spin-off called Baywatch Nights coming out in 1995.
Take three good-looking hip guys with lots of attitude and some questionable talent, and what do you have? A new summer movie called Airheads, about the guys in the band.
Okay, who are you guys? The Lone Rangers? What's wrong with that?
As an unsigned rock band who commandeer a radio station to get their record played, Brendan Fraser, Steve Buscemi, and Adam Sandler make up the Lone Rangers. But they act more like the Three Stooges.
Oh, man, look at the demo's wasted!
Well, what are we gonna do now?
Run!
E.T. met the boys high atop the roof of their Manhattan hotel for a little sample of their musical prowess, a very little sample.
I don't know the words.
Although his first love is guitar, Adam picked up the sticks for this role.
I can do Living After Midnight, Judas Priest, if you want. Say you were an MTV guy. I wanted to just make sure I got in the video. I'd go like that.
As for Brendan, who had no previous guitar experience, he says he got some tips on how to fake it.
We hung out with some cool musicians. They showed me 3 or 4 chords and gave me every reassurance that I didn't need to know that many to play a really good kick-ass rock song.
While all three say the film was fun to work on, Adam says it was his experience in a high school band that really launched his career.
We used to play in our basement, and kids would come over and hang out. We never get, you guys are good. You guys are all right. Not that good, but you're all right. So that's why I became a comedian.
I cut a deal with them. We got to send one person out.
I'll go.
One of the hostages, doof. Sorry.
Airheads will be in theaters nationwide on Friday.
What can you learn from the stars? We'll take you to summer school for a quick refresher course next.
Everybody having a good time tonight?
20th Century Fox invites you,
Even though you're a goon.
to live it up with
The Lone Rangers? There's 3 of you. You're not exactly lone. No idea what you're saying right now.
So grab a ticket.
I know the procedure.
Cancel your plans.
Oh, boy. I made an appointment with my proctologist.
And join the party.
I don't want anything. I just don't want to go outside.
Airheads, rated PG-13. Starts Friday in theaters everywhere.
Catch Addison County Field Days August 2nd through 6th. The Midway, tractor pulls, demo derby, antique equipment, and more at Vermont's top agricultural event. Field Days, Route 17, New Haven.
So you think you're pretty good, huh? I don't believe it. Do you have what it takes? You say you're good enough. You think you have what it takes. I know you think you got it, but are you sure you're tough enough? Well, now's your chance to prove it. I'm looking to recruit some new people, some new blood. Give blood and save lives.
Call the Vermont, New Hampshire Red Cross at 1-800-843-3500.
Thousands of lives are depending on you. So get out there. Show them what you're made of.
Give me a fax. X-rays on the back.
Need a central line kit?
Yes, I have a patient wearing a medical alert bracelet.
Get another liter of dextrose.
Plenty of New Yorkers are learning the biz, showbiz that is, from the pros. Taking on the role of guest lecturers at continuing education classes this summer are a host of famous and familiar faces.
I'm the teacher.
With celebrities such as Brooke Shields, Kevin Bacon, and Kirk Douglas at the head of the class, school's in session at the Learning Annex, an adult education center. These one-session seminars are a way to get up close to your favorite star and maybe get some tips on getting ahead in showbiz.
I guess I'll start just with a brief synopsis of my life.
Kevin shared the secret of his success with wife Kira Sedgwick looking on.
With the help of my wife, came up with this concept of riding the wave of other people who are successful. I got into a Julia Roberts movie. Then I got into a Kevin Costner movie with Oliver Stone directing. Then I got into a Tom Cruise movie, and I said, this is working for me.
Brooke didn't lecture, just opened the class to questions.
I first became fascinated with you when you did the Blue Lagoon.
But playwright Ken Curtis was more than a curious fan. On this night, he had business in mind.
I need someone like that to do a part.
You have to have
That's a good pitch, right? I can give perspective from someone who really has been in the trenches in this business since I was very young, and sometimes just an opinion or perspective can help.
Stand out of my way, because sometimes when I get to exert myself, I use up all the air nearby, and grown men faint from suffocation.
A standing room crowd jammed into Town Hall to see Kirk Douglas recreate some moments from his films and dispense some showbiz wisdom.
What is the best advice you can give a young individual with no acting experience who would like to embark upon an acting career? First, I'm going to kick your ass.
The crowd stayed after class to get an autograph and a handshake from the teacher.
It's nice because you have a chance to meet some people personally. We're always being locked up.
I actually wanted to see what he's like, but I'm learning an awful lot from him.
I think we're here tonight mainly because he's a New Yorker, and that's very inspirational for New York actors and filmmakers.
Inspirational to impressionists in the house, too.
You're asking me, what am I doing? How do I feel? I got a pimple in my dimple, and I'm in pain.
Who is up next at the lecture podium? Actor John Amos and Law & Order's Christopher Noth talk about acting, and model Beverly Johnson shares her beauty secrets.
Spartacus. It wasn't until 1977, 3 years after his resignation, that former President Nixon spoke about Watergate with David Frost. Now, 3 months after Nixon's death, the Disney Channel airs the interviews once again, along with some never-before-seen footage. A look at this historic talk with Nixon in tonight's coming attractions.
And did you, in a sense, feel that resignation was worse than death?
In some ways.
In the historic interviews, Nixon fields questions about Watergate, his foreign policy, and the dark days before his resignation.
I did not, in the first place, commit the crime of obstruction of justice, because I did not have the motive required.
Beginning tonight, the Nixon interviews with David Frost, 1994 special edition, air each Tuesday in August on the Disney Channel.
Who is everybody's favorite bigot? The answer is coming up next in today's birthdays.
What is cool? Does who you hang with make you cool? Yo, B, check me out! I'm funky. Maybe not. Hey, wait, these dudes are cool. Whoa, bro, I'm totally cool. Nah, maybe going prep is cool.
Hey, Buffy.
Now that is not cool. If I was like this guy, then I'd be cool. I need a cold drink. What should I drink?
Give your brain a rest. Obey your thirst. Sprite.
Who should I drink it with?
True confessions about calling circles from MCI friends and family customers.
He asked us for a lot of friends and family's names.
I gave him my sister-in-law, my mother-in-law.
Just wasn't worth it.
Out of my 10 people, only one I got the discount.
To make it easier, simpler.
You want it simple? You got it. Just switch to AT&T and get true USA savings. Spend $25 a month on AT&T and we subtract 20% from your AT&T long distance bill. Switch now and save to anyone, anytime, anywhere in the USA, guaranteed.
Simple is better.
With AT&T, you save on calls to everyone. That's why 2 out of 3 MCI friends and family basic or primetime users will save more with true USA savings.
I'm going back to AT&T.
We'll switch you for free. Just call 1-800-ATT-0908.
We're standing by for your call.
Just switch back.
Switch now. Call 1-800-ATT-0908.
Your true voice.
Alcoholics Anonymous, may I help you?
I'd say if you had a hangover every morning, you might have a drinking problem.
Don't you think he knows you drink?
Let's see, there's a meeting at the corner of Fisk and 56th Street. That's only 4 blocks away from where you live.
You don't have to think you're an alcoholic to go to an AA meeting.
But we're not talking about cleaning house. We're talking about you're not drinking anymore.
You don't have to give your name in a meeting. You don't even have to open your mouth at all if you don't want to. Just sit there and listen.
Alcoholics Anonymous. It works. Look us up in the phone book.
They have prepared us for just about anything you can think of. Step Up trains women for jobs in the skilled trades. I was interested in getting a job that paid well, was challenging, and more interesting. Work with your hands and learn a trade that can offer you financial independence. The Step Up program starts soon.
In Burlington, call the Community and Economic Development Office at 865-7144 or 865-7142 for TDD.
Folks, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. It was just really hot in there.
Check out Hotel Malibu. We're saving a room with a view of surf, sand, and bikinis tomorrow on Entertainment Tonight.
Production assistance furnished by the GM MasterCard. Only the GM card lets you earn 5% on everything you buy, up to $3,500 toward a new GM vehicle, and charges no annual fee. Get your GM card now. Promotional fee paid by 1-800-COLLECT, America's inexpensive way to call someone collect. Use it every time you make a long-distance collect call.
Celebrating a birthday on this Tuesday, the 2nd of August, Edward Furlong of Terminator 2 fame turns 17. LaToya Jackson celebrates her 35th. Actress Katherine Harold turns 44. Joanna Cassidy is 49. Peter O'Toole checks in at 62. And who played the biggest bigot of them all? Archie Bunker birthday boy Carol O'Connor turns 70.
Did you have a favorite, Meathead or Edith's or
Well, I
Foxy?
always loved Edith.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really did. But the whole family, it was a great show.
I missed that show.
Yeah.
We're going to roll on out of here with the kickoff of the Rolling Stones Voodoo Lounge World Tour.
Live in performance last night in Washington, D.C., here are the Stones with Live With Me.
Enjoy. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Don't you think there's a place to go in between the sheets?